Okay. Okay, so the perfection of harakat you can find in page 43 of TajweedQA, part 3. So one of the most common mistakes in Tajweed is not giving the correct harakat, not pronouncing it correctly, the fatha, the dhamma, the kasra, u'i. And many Tajweed scholars have stressed this as a very important mistake to eliminate, and some of the scholars have even classed it as al-hanjali, a major mistake. So the length of pronouncing one haraka, fatha, dhamma, kasra, is the same as it would be to pronounce any letter. So, for example, a fatha is the same as timing for ba. U is the same as the ba, so a, u, e. So it shouldn't be elongated more than one vowel. So in the original writing of the Qur'an, there was no harakat, and there was no dotting as well. So, for example, here you can see man amana bihi wa tabaghunaha. So you can see even the hamza is written differently. It's just alif, and the noon doesn't have the dot in it. The bihi, so there's no b. So the Arabs of that time would know they were excelled in Arabic, so they would know that this is a b, and they would know it was bihi and not bihu. And dabaghunaha, they would know it's dabaghuna, not yabaghuna. So it wasn't until later that there was somebody, and so here in this example, this is hatta. For the ta, it was just a fork, and they would know that this is a ta. Yahkum, not tahkum. Bainana. So here you can see there's the ba, ya, nun, and the dotting is completely gone. So there's no harakat and no dotting. So the Arabs of that time would know exactly which dotting was there and the harakat. So the harakat was introduced by somebody called Abu Aswad ad-Du'ali. When he added the harakat, the way he did it was that he sat somebody in front of him, and then he would ask him to recite. So if his mouth, let me just go to the next one. So if his mouth opened vertically, he would know it was a fatha. If his mouth lowered, if his jaw dropped, he would put a kasra in that position. If he would circle his lips, he would put a dhamma in that position. And if he didn't do any of these, he would know that letter was with a sukoon. So for fatha, you have to have a vertical opening of the jaw. أخذ, خلق, عبس. So the mouth has to open vertically. For kasra, there has to be a slight dropping of the jaw. And some people say there's a smiley face. There shouldn't be any smiley facing. You shouldn't be smiley facing. So tajida, taji, not taji. If I smiley face too much, then I will be adding like a ya sound after the dream. So tajida, maliki, ibili. And for the dhamma, there has to be pure full circling. So ru, sulu, there has to be circling. Su, hawfi, rubu'u. And for the sukoon, you have to take away anything that was before, any haraka that was before. So kuntum, the kaf is with the dhamma, the noon is with the sukoon, the ta is with the dhamma. So the noon in the middle has to be free from any dhamma. So kuntum. The video that I sent on the group, the YouTube video, I sent it last week. You can watch those videos to see exactly how he takes the harakat away and how he pronounces the dhamma perfectly, fatha perfectly, kasra perfectly, and sukoon perfectly as well. And this has to be done in front of a mirror. So the best way to practice perfection of harakat is by sitting in front of a mirror and watching what you're doing with your lips. So zurtum, zur. So you're going from dhamma, sukoon, if you're stopping on the meme. Zurtum, and yuwaswisu. So here the scene is with the sukoon. So you have to take away the fatha before and the fatha after. Yuwaswi, the kasra on the waw. Yuwaswisu. The timing of letters is also very important because the time it takes to pronounce a sakin letter is greater then the time it takes a vowel letter. The reason is because because when a letter is sakina, all this sifat are made clear. So for example, in yadu'ul yatim, in the ayn, the shadda has a sakin letter, so that will have greater timing, and the lam, yadu'ul yatim, yadu'u, yadu'ul yatim, and in idha tutla, the ta, so you're going from dhamma, sukoon, fatha, idha tutla, tutla, and in yaj'al, jim and lam have greater timing, yaj'al, yaj'al, al, and in تضليل, the ضاد and the lam, تضليل, تضليل, زلزال, هذا the second lam, زلزال, so you're staying on the lam, the second lam, but with the sukoon slightly longer than the lam with the fatha, زلزالها, وأرسل, so the ra here will have great timing, وأرسل, and the waw, Hamza, Sin, and Lam will have the same timing. وأسل will the same. So the timing has to be the same for those 4 letters, and only the ra will have greater timing, in that word, for example. فَلْيَعْبُدُوا, so the Lam and the Ain will both have greater timing than any other letter. فَلْيَعْبُدُوا. Obviously, at the end here, you have the waw, which is a mud letter, so that will have two vowel counts, according to the mud. أخلد, so the kha, أخلد, and the tha in أثقالها. So this is the page from the Qa'idah, which is the most important page for practicing the timing of letters. So when you're practicing with a child, you have to make sure that on the previous lesson we discussed the running of sound, which was rikhawa. We practiced the stopping of sound, which is shidda, and tawassut is in between. So these are according to the timing of letters, the rikhawa letters have the greatest timing in the alphabet. Then it's the tawassut letters, and it's the shidda letters. So all the blue letters here are rikhawa letters. So you would ask your child to make sure that they can hear the sound running. Ath, ith, uth, ah, ih, uh. They can't just say aha, ah. You have to make sure that the sound is clearly running. For the tawassut letters, it's just the ra in this one. So the tawassut has to be in between rikhawa and shidda. So it means that there has to be some shidda, some blockage of sound, and there has to be some running of sound. Ar, ir, ur. So there has to be the tawassut has to be clear. And for the shidda letters, there has to be so the shidda letter is the brown one, the ta, at. So the sound is blocked, and what you can hear is the breath running. At, it, ut. So the first thing that you feel is the sound stopping, and what you hear is the breath running, not the sound. So at, it, ut. And again, ask the child to put their hand in front of the mouth, and they should be able to feel the breath when they pronounce that letter. And the qalqa letters have to have a bouncing. Aba, iba, uba. It's not ab, ib, because there's no shadda on it, so it has to be very quick. Aba, iba, uba. And the key with the qalqa letters is that the ba is sakina, so the vowel from before has to be taken away. So it shouldn't be aba, ibi, ubu. The ba shouldn't have a haraka sound. It should be free from sukoon. Aba. So the way to do that is by taking away the shape of the haraka before. So take away the fatha shape from aba, take away the kasra shape from iba, and take away the dhamma shape from uba, uba. And the same with aja, ija, uja, and ato, ito, uto. So this is a key page in getting the timing of letters correctly. And then if this is correct, then they can move on to pronouncing the timing correctly in words. Any questions? So the theory lesson was a short lesson this week, Alhamdulillah. Okay, so we'll move on to the Qa'idah, inshallah.